Hey guys, my name is Brandy. I'm going to talk to you today about Chapter 4 of the Real Estate Finance and Loan Brokering 8th edition book. This chapter starts off as a review of Chapter 2, and it talks about the secondary mortgage market and then goes a little bit deeper into what they do and how they work. So what their job is to fund the secondary mortgage market, and they have to raise funds to do that. So how they do that is they sell mortgage-backed securities, which is kind of like stocks in the mortgages. One of those securities is a pass-through security, and a pass-through security gives an investor an undivided interest in the mortgage pool. And basically what that means is they become like an owner of the loan or the property, and when the owner of the home makes their payments, the person who owns the pass-through security gets a portion of the mortgage and interest on the shares that they own in the mortgage pool. And so they also get, when the person refinances their house or sells their house, they get their money with a lump sum at the end. So that's part of the downside to these. The upside is they're high yield and low risk. That's fantastic. But they're not for all that long, because generally a person will pay off their house within 5 to 7 years. So if they want to reinvest, let's say a person has refinance their house. They refinance generally for a lower rate. So if you want to reinvest that money into another mortgage-backed security, it's generally going to be for a lower rate. But it's still an investment that's still pretty high yield, and it's still low risk. So it's still a great investment. One of the other things that they talked about in the book that I absolutely love is the stuff that benefits the farmers. I used to work on a dairy, and so this kind of stuff is pretty interesting to me, because not only did I drive the tractor, but I did some of the paperwork with the owners, and I got to know a little bit about how much things cost on a dairy, and it's very expensive. The average house in this area is $300,000, and that's how much a tractor is. So just one tractor. And dairies will have 3 or 4, and they all do different things, and it adds up and gets pretty intense. So one of the government made an agency called the Farm Service Agency. They've been around helping farmers since the 1930s, but in 1994 they reorganized this group, called it the Farm Service Agency, to help provide stabilized income for farmers and help them with their resources of like water, those kind of things, help conserve the resources, and emergency funding. I know sometimes if your land floods, the dairy that I was on, there was a river that ran like right through the property, and when it would rain heavily, that would flood, and there was an insane amount of things that would come through the property. And so some of that emergency funding might be, if they didn't have a tractor, they might have to pay someone to clear out the doors and the trees and the sticks that would just come flooding onto the property, to get them out of the way. Just any kind of those scenarios. It's very important to be able to have options like that, so that just one little thing won't stop your whole business. And the last thing in this chapter that I thought was pretty cool, for residential mortgages, there's the secondary mortgage market with the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and for farmers, they have Farmer Mac. So it's the same kind of concept where you go and you get a loan, and then the secondary market will come purchase that loan to free up more funding for more loans. Only Farmer Mac does that for farms. So it's really cool that they have those kind of things too, to help farmers, which I thought it made sense, because farms have houses too, and not only, sometimes it also houses the workers. So it's still the mortgage. It's just a really involved home loan. It's just a house that you live and you work on, and that is your life. So it all works out good. So I really like all the stuff that I've been learning in this book so far, and I really look forward to the more that I'm going to learn. Bye guys.